Good morning. Happy Monday. This is Jane Odom with the AAC Language Lab, and we are going to talk today about conversations. So the Language Lab is all about communication, and the Language Lab is divided up into different language stages where we can focus on grammar and vocabulary. But another part of communication is actually having a conversation. And so there's different categories of how we communicate. So we can request things or we can direct activities. And so today we're going to talk about that. So the first thing you kind of really need to do is figure out where's my student? What skills do they already have? So we have a couple of resources for you on the lab. So if you go to resources and you click in the evaluation section, the first one I'm going to show you, this is from the ACE Center at our friends in the UK, from our friends in the UK, and it is just a wonderful little checklist of ways students communicate. So gaining attention, requesting, rejecting, naming, commenting, giving information. And so you can just take this little checklist and kind of go through, and you have some options. They do this, they may do this, they do this, they don't do this, it's not applicable, or it's a potential target of something that you might want to work on. So very, very simple, a nice little checklist. And then another one that we have was developed by PRC's own Russell Cross, and it is called the Quad Profile. And this is, again, another little checklist that you can actually put the little date in of when the student masters this type of communication. And so what we've done on the Language Lab is we have some conversation flashcards that match this directly. This used to be an app a long, long time ago that was a little game called Spin and Speak that I used to play with students. And, you know, it was fascinating because they loved playing it and they would stay on task a whole lot longer. And you really got some very good information of how well they communicate, because basically what they're getting are these little situation cards. And so these are now printable on the Language Lab. And so you have, this is the request category. So you have things like, there's only one piece of pizza left. What do you say? Or, Mom gave you one cookie. What can you say? Or, your friend has a new video game. What can you say? And so it gives you these little situations. And then if the student maybe isn't sure what to say, that's a great time that you can model for them and show them some examples and then ask them to try again and do that together. So this would be the requesting category. Another category that we have is directing activities. Whoa, I'm getting the lighting in here. So things like this can be asked. You are sleepy. What do you say? Or, Mom says, I need help feeding the dog. What do you say? No way, Mom, I don't want to help. Or, yes, Mom, I would love to help. And then here is, Dad is planting tomatoes in the garden. What do you ask? And so these are kind of very open-ended, and the student can literally say anything that they want, and you guys can talk about that together. So I'm going to show you 3 more of these categories. There's 7 altogether. So here's one for personal information. And this is like really important as our students are learning to communicate, to be able to tell people about themselves, or if there's ever an emergency situation, for them to know how to say, hey, my name is, and this is my phone number, this is where I live. And so this one is kind of like, how are you feeling? So your brother broke your toy. How do you feel? What do you say? What makes you sad? All right. Or, in a thunderstorm, the lights go out. How do you feel? So there's all these little situations where they can talk about something that's very personal to them. And then let's see, the next group is information exchange. So things like, you're in the store and can't find your mom. What do you say? Now you need to be able to tell somebody who you're looking for and what your name is. You ran out of glue in art class. What do you say? So these are just, again, little situations, and they're based on these language functions. So the Quad Profile can help you as you're keeping data with the student and checking off, like, what have they learned? What do they need help with? And then there's one on discovery. So things like, your brother won't help you clean. What do you say? So this could be a lot of fun. Or, you missed the bus. What are you going to do? So these categories and these flashcards are in the language lab. So these are conversation flashcards. And then there's two other categories called imaginative and informative that you can go and check out. But download these this one is the quad profile, and this one is the pragmatic profile. These are in the evaluation center in the evaluation section in the resource part of the AAC Language Lab. And I encourage you to play this as a family, have fun with this. These are the conversation flashcards, and this is Jane, and tomorrow we're going to be in the mud with the pig.